Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and I am here to share my scrapbooking why as part of my What is Scrapbooking series. I don't know if I've really shared my story in this way on YouTube before. I was introduced to scrapbooking before the pandemic. I had a friend that invited me to go to a crop, and it was all a bit overwhelming for me. I tried some digital scrapbooking, I tried some paper scrapbooking, and I think it was just too much at once. And so I really feel passionate about filming the series and sharing it with you all. So that way, if you do want to learn about scrapbooking and start scrapbooking, it won't be so overwhelming. You can just take it one step at a time, one project at a time. I started out with a travel album myself, but we digress, which is a little bit of what I do sometimes. Some of my other videos, yeah, it's okay. Editing does help at times. Let me just say that. So coming back to, yes, I was overwhelmed as a brand new scrapbooker, and then the pandemic hit. So I decided to give a virtual crop a try. And I knew I wanted to scrapbook a vacation album. My family and I had taken a trip up to Acadia in Maine and had just a fantastic time camping and visiting all the sites of the national park there. So it seemed like a doable project, which it was, and that's where I started. I went to a virtual National Scrapbook Day, and Diane Lampert from Creative Memories Home Office, she is pretty amazing, but she talked about, hey, why don't you become an advisor? You spend $49 and you immediately get a $50 product credit. And there's also these extra goodies you can get with it. And I thought, maybe I should give this thing a try as a business and see how I do with it. And some also try it as a side gig as well. For me, I love doing it. I love the filming. I love teaching the classes. And I love sharing with all of you. If you're interested in also becoming an advisor and joining my team, I will have a link to my Creative Pages Hub in the description box below this video, and you can get more details there. I really have not regretted a day since I've joined. I fell in love with the creative outlet that scrapbooking brings me, and I haven't looked back from that National Scrapbook Day. It's not just looking at pictures in a book or on a phone. It's sharing the story of what's in the photos. My light bulb went off for me when I had our father-in-law come and visit, and he picked up one of my older scrapbooks, and it's all pictures and memorabilia, and there's absolutely no journaling in it. And I'm thinking, gosh, that was a trip overseas, and I don't think he's been there before. He probably doesn't even know what he's looking at. He probably doesn't know the stories behind that photo or what my husband and I were doing in some of those, but he happily looked through, and I felt bad that I didn't have the stories in that book for him to be able to read along with seeing those photos and to be able to experience that journey that we took, that we put the photos in the album for. So while you're sharing those stories, why not make the pages pretty? And you will see some of those and some of the other videos on my channel. I do like to decorate the pages. I'm not tied into where my mats are on my pages, as you've seen in my earlier video in this series, my album flip through. I like my photos to have those little extra details and pretty pages to be on, so people enjoy looking at the photos and reading the stories, but also want to turn the page to see maybe what I've done with the next page as well. I've been a Creative Memories advisor for just a few years now. I think I had my 3-year anniversary this year, 2024. And let's see, I joined in 2021. So yeah, 3 years. I just, wow. Okay, so I had my 3-year anniversary now with Creative Memory, so I haven't really been doing it all that long. So I'm not really tied into some of the old rules that may have applied to scrapbooking. I love the creative freedom of doing what you want with your pages, and I try not to tie other people into rules for scrapbooking as well. Do what works for you and what looks right on your pages. I now do an annual album for my family. I print the photos monthly for it so that way I keep up with the stories as they're fresh. I write myself a couple little notes so that way when I go to put the photos in the album, I will know what national park we visited this month or what little day trip we've taken around the area that we've been living in. I also have back to school 8x8 albums started for both of my kids and put together an 8x8 album for my parents' 55th wedding anniversary, which they now treasure. I hold a monthly virtual crop as well as several other virtual and in-person classes each year. And I really enjoy doing it. I love the interaction with the people who come to the classes and just being able to answer their questions one-on-one right away there's a satisfaction to that. I also have been known to do private parties for people as well. Those are fun too, virtual or in person. And you can check my upcoming events tab on my Creative Pages Hub. That's also linked in the description box with this video, or message me through my Creative Pages with Catherine Facebook or Instagram as well, or send me an email. And I also now have this YouTube channel where I love to share ideas, connect live with viewers each month for the Creative Memories virtual crop and collection introductions. I hope you all enjoy my content that I've been putting out. I do try to change it up each year, and I do try to do some different things from time to time as well to keep things fresh. And, there's always something new to learn. And I love just sharing those new little things as well. If you have anything that you would really like to see, leave me a comment. You never know, it might show up in a future video. I've also started this What is Scrapbooking series on my channel where I want to teach and inspire you to tell your stories. I've made another video in my What is Scrapbooking series that will give you some ideas on where to start.